No, 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 no.
Hey guys, what's going on? It is Dark Arts Academy here, today with Lords of the Fallen with a Radiance build. I will show you, what weapons I rock, along with the catalyst, and the rings and spells. So, to start with, we have Peter's Sword, plus 10. Now, you guys won't be as high level, or if you are as high level, this is ideally where you want to be with this build. It's a dual soul build. It comes with a nice little dual wielding expertise along with this weapon skill. It's a nice little weapon skill to have. Doesn't hit hard, but it does if you hit straight after you use it. Now, let's get into the weapons. We have Peter Sword, plus 10. You can get this after killing her at the very start of the game. Um, you obviously need the Bowl of Revelations and give it to Molu, or whatever his name is. It's important to activate the room and get it. It's a very nice little sword. Attack power 545, probably 216 plus 329. You need 25 radiance to wield it. Now, this sword, the purple one, is the one on my left hand, is Elaine's staff sword. To get this, you have to pretty much do the Umbral questline. That's like, what's his name? Iron Wafers questline, pretty much, along with handing over these little things to three different characters, one of them being Democros, the other being the blacksmith, and then at the end, yeah. So in order to get that boss fight, you have to do the Umbral quest line and pretty much do the Umbral ending. The chalice you can get from a boss in the Abyss Sisters. I used Listen Beam, Pressing Light, Blessed Refractions, and Radiant Weapon, along with the Judgment spell. This Judgment spell is quite handy to have for most boss fights, except for the ones that move around. Unfortunately, those ones are a bit of a pain to use it on, but it's still nice to have for ones that don't move as much. The Lucent Beam, it's beautiful to have because it will melt bosses. It just melts them. This one, Bliss Reflections, is also very nice to have. Just to keep them distracted so you can set up the Lucent Beam. Now, Piercing Light, that's nice to have for a little when you're going on an excursion. Just to get rid of the enemies that will rush your face if you don't want to use your swords. Radiant Weapon, obviously you want to buff your sword with that. This, I have it on my square, I'm not used to it. I'll give you a quick demonstration. So, with a buff, it does roughly about 700. And then you, cool. So let's just get my souls back. Now, as for my armor set, I am using the Veteran of the Veil helm. The Veteran of the Veil. You can only get this armor set from doing the Umbral ending. I like it. It's tough. It looks cool. It works with pretty much almost all builds, but mainly works with this one. I will be doing an Umbral build later and showing you another heavy hitting one, but I do like this one. Like, this build is pretty tough. Pendant, I use the I don't know how to say that, pendant. Increases holy damage, and it's very nice to have. Now, I use 2 of the same ring to increase that holy damage, and it just works. It's beautiful to have, increases your damage, and it is lovely. Attribute-wise, I don't have... Most of my points are in Radiance and Inferno, as you can see down the bottom left. But it's mainly because, obviously, this is a Radiance build, but Inferno also gives me extra mana. Vitality, I keep at 40. Endurance, I keep at 41. Agility and Strength, I don't really use those for this build, but... Sorry, excuse yawn, but I will be later on. Obviously, I can make different builds, and this is just one of them. This build does require a lot of mana usage, so obviously having some mana stones and so having a lot of mana stones will be great for you if you decide to go for this build. Also, the chalice is not the best one to use for this build, but compared to the other catalysts, it's just that much better. Um, so, so the only radiant ones I have at the moment for this build are like the chalice, the war marks, and one of the books. Now there is another one that is similar to this one. That is a better catalyst. But at this time, I don't have it. This is pretty much coming back to the game for the first time since forever. Now another good thing about this build is that it's also really good for PvP, because these two swords will stun lock. Obviously, you don't want to be spamming light attacks because if they can parry, they will parry. But I have not come across any parrying opponents just yet. But yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so I will show you how much damage this does to bosses later on. But for this build, I basically I'm used to being long range or mid range. I'm not used to being up close personally, so bear with me. So this is the beam, loosened beam, constant damage, and then the swords. Boom. So obviously I need this. Oh, do I have the key already? No, I might already have the key. But anyway, pretty much I will start off with the beam, blasting them. Obviously I have a lot of mana, so it's just constant damage over time. And like I said, this build does require a lot of mana. And you will need a lot of mana stones. Now, dual wielding, lights, heavy, or if you want, you can just rock the swords and have them for people that come up close and personal like I do. And you can just use your spells. Now, obviously, the storm is quite a heavy hitting blow to your mana because it requires 120. Oh, sorry, 160 mana. Yeah, so the Blessed Reflections and the Judgment spell are going to be your most mana costing spells. So ideally you do want to have a lot of mana. So I have 800 mana. You're going to want it roughly around that or more, if you can get more, I'm not sure. You're going to want as much mana stone clusters or large clusters as you can get. The small ones are great, but they don't work well with this. The large ones will, but like I said, those are either really hard to get or well, not hard to get, but like rare to find. But you can probably buy them later on. I don't know. I've just never bought them before. I just find them around the map. I mainly rely on the clusters, not the large ones, but the normal ones. Mainly because I can buy them from the blacksmith once you get the crack tablet. And ideally, it's just easier to buy those and have a max ton of those. Now, for this next bit, I'm going to show you the spell against bosses. Do not judge me too harshly. I do not. Like I said, I do not. Alright, so for this boss gets a little bit hairy. Obviously, like I said, I'm not quite used to this build yet. But obviously, I come in with the storm. Just start spamming it obviously on that one just to get rid of it because this is a 2v1 fight and it's pretty awkward. I get hit here, just roll out of the way. Still get hit because I'm not good at melee builds yet. I pop mana stones because my mana's low after using the storm. I get low. I heal up once. I still pop the storm. I still pop it once and then I go in with my swords after I pop another stone. But yeah, you can fight with the storm because it doesn't damage you. Just a good idea. Oh, and it's quite effective to fight with the swords as you're handling them with the storm against this boss. And obviously against that one, then you just start smacking her because she does not fight back. Yeah, that's one way to fight with this build, and it's quite effective sometimes with certain bosses. Alright, Now I'm going to show you one of the bosses that I have a real problem with this build, because this build is great. This boss here is really, 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 really irritating to fight, because she can not only heal herself, but she always teleports if you're going for a straight up fight. So, what I do is I will set up a couple of storms. She also has the reluctant beam, and then she'll run, and then I will use these two fellas, set up another storm, mana cluster, smack her to stop her from healing. Oops, obviously I messed up there. And then cast another storm, and that's honestly the best way to deal with her with this build is just storm, then use the guys to try and smack her as much as you can, because obviously she heals herself and it's really annoying. So yeah. Anyway guys, I will be showing you more boss fights in this video, but please like and subscribe if you enjoy it. I will be commenting on the other fights as well, with ways to fight the bosses. Yeah, I will not be doing all the bosses, I will only be doing some. I know I said we'd be doing more boss fights in this video, but I think this is going to be it. I'm going to upload this and let me know what you guys think. Please like.